What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn. It's been a while, but I'm back, not forgotten. I'm just very oddly mooded because a lot of things have happened in the last few weeks, and I'm going to show you how this happened to my tank. Yes, the nano tank took a hit, and it's all my fault. So get you a warm beverage and let's
From
check it
this
out.
moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but.
So as you can see, the 20-gallon Nano that's been running for about 10 years took a serious hit, and I want to cry, everybody, but it happens to the best of us. Not only the tank was a loss, but some of my favorite fish and shrimp that I've had over 8 and 9 years, mated pairs, took a hit. If you're not familiar, you'll probably remember them better in their liveliness, where there was Fred and Wilma, my snowflakes. Had them a long time, but just messed around, screwing around with the tank, and it ended up in a catastrophic failure. It all happens to us all. No one's immune, no one's a master. Just to attest to the inevitability of humanity, and we make mistakes. So just like anybody else, I had to take everything out of the tank, clean it, try to reset everything back up, and basically, just take it back to formula. I had screwed around with one of the controllers and trying to do things remotely. I didn't realize that one of the pumps had evidently been shut off for a long time and just ended up crashing the tank. So, did a major water change, cleaned everything out, substrate, took everything out of the tank. As you can see here, just cleaned it as best as I could, trying to get it back to formula. And I'm just going to show you some of the steps that I did in doing that. So let's take a look at me placing things back. I did change the substrate. I took this opportunity to take everything out. I moved a lot of the corals that I could save to the big tank and just tried to take this back. I did end up getting a few fish a couple of weeks later. I always wanted some midnight clowns. Found these guys at the show and brought them back after the tank had been running for 3 or so weeks. So let me just go over what I did and how I got to this point here. So tank is running for about 4 weeks now, 4.5, 5 weeks with those 2 clowns in it. I did reduce the lighting period because I was dying with the cycle. When you start a new tank, you automatically go through the cycle, and the algae was everywhere. We're about 5 weeks in, 4.5, 5 weeks in. You can still see it cycling. I got a little bit of that brown hair that's kind of hard to get. I go in there with a brush and clean it off every day or so, but you're going to get that when the tank is cycling. I did reutilize some of my favorite corals. This one is tough as nails and coming back slowly but surely, but you can see around it, it's still got that pesky algae because I couldn't really get all of it off without really damaging the coral. Now, I did scrub everything down. I even soaked these guys in vinegar because, when a tank crashes, you get that awful smell. I lost a lot of zoas. I lost mushrooms. I lost quite a few bit of coral. I had some green slimer in there. So I took this opportunity to replace the substrate. I had no substrate, but I did take this opportunity to replace it with some coarse sand and a little bit of crushed coral type heavy granular sand to just aid in the cycle and get some biological presence in the tank. You can see I took the Chaeto, which I used to have in my little refusion box in the back of the tank. I'm doing something different, taking that out. As a small tank, I can accomplish everything I need chemistry wise with water changes, so I'm going to do a different route now. I scrubbed everything down, including Mr. Krabs restaurant here, to keep the SpongeBob and Bikini Bottom theme alive. So let's go over a little more of what I got in the ways of filtration here. I took the media. I did a really good thorough cleaning of the tubes and the cycle chamber. I got the Reef Octopus Nano running there. The pump had died a while back, have to replace that, but I have that running. cleaned the chamber out, and right now I'm running the Aqua Clear 110 to polish the water. I ran that in this tank for about 3 to 4 days to make sure it had no heavy trace phosphate in the tank, and to try to get, I got some Phosphosorb here and a little bit of carbon. I'm running it right now on the 40-gallon natural tank below it, but just to show you that sometimes it's good to polish that water. These Aqua Clears do an excellent job polishing the water. Trying to get things stable for a while. I got the Phosphosorb in there, as well as the big filter sponge, and the tank is
and I am
up.
cleaning up the Nano Reef tank for the third time. And if you're asking, D, what are you cleaning up the Nano Reef for the third time? What are you talking about? In order to understand what I'm talking about, I gotta take you back. So let's do a flashback.
Now this is what the tank looked like after it had been cycled for years running. Clean of algae, no diatoms, no hair algae, everything was in balance, the fish were healthy, coral were bright and vibrant, and in order to get that stable again, it's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of work.
So here we go again, people. Just cleaned out the tank, rescaped everything, and it just goes to show sometimes we just have problems and we just have to throw every piece of knowledge that we have at them, do a few steps back, just clean the tank, test it, and just do the best you can, because nobody's perfect, and I don't care how long you've been doing this, there are always ripples in the water and things that go wrong. So I hope this just helps people out, and it just proves that nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. Mistakes are okay. Everybody makes mistakes. It's just learning from them that is the hard part. So till next time, this is D from Brooklyn. Bikini Bottom is looking up again. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. See ya.